Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend Ty from his Friday Expert Series. How you doing, buddy?
I'm awesome, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm really proud of this YouTube channel, One Rental at a Time, is it's really a collection of, frankly, other millionaires. And these millionaires are, like yourself, focused on giving back, sharing expenses or experiences. And more importantly for me, I've also taken great care to stay in my lane, right? What I do, and what I don't, I don't. What do I mean by that? You have just created perhaps the most important bonus section in my course in quite a while. I believe we have left a market where it was just cash and quick to a market that is changing, and fear of missing out is going to go on the sellers, and it's going to get worse. We are going to see unemployment double. We are going to see some scary times. And in scary times, unfortunately, some of us will go into pre-foreclosure. You and I experienced the Great Recession last time. I bought dozens of foreclosures. I believe this time, most opportunities won't actually make it to foreclosure because the debt is the asset. Last time, the debt was truly, truly toxic. That is not the case this time. So if you are out there watching those channels, waiting for foreclosures to come, you might get a couple next year. But if you learn pre-foreclosures, you can start fish. You can start skilling up now. B, you will fish early. And trust me when I say this, the best deals will be done in pre-foreclosure. They will never make it to the courthouse steps, will never be owned by the bank. And we have the one and only Ty, who is gracious enough to create bonus content. Add it already. It is free. Get to work. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's Michael. Thank you for all that you share and do. And I've got to say that, it's interesting. You and I've been in a conversation for feels like about 18 months talking about what's going on in the economy. You do a daily financial news. If you're not watching that, you need to be on that. For anybody watching this video now, Michael puts out the best financial news out there. Specifically, why is because it's pertinent to what's going on in real estate. So one thing that we've talked about is there's a lot of people that are sensationalizing, talking about this tsunami of foreclosures, the tidal wave, the bubble, a market crash, and all of that. And Michael has done the research. I've done the research, not to the level of Michael's research, but I look at notice of defaults, notice of trustee sales. I study them. I watch them. I market to them. I provide solutions to them. And I can say that wholeheartedly, I agree with you, Michael. We are going to see pre-foreclosures double, triple, quadruple. That is true. The truth is, in 2008, 2009, 2007, I worked for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and I was doing hundreds and hundreds of transactions for them from 2008 to 2013, let's call it. And the truth is we're not going to see that today. We are going to see pre-foreclosures, though, explode. And here's the reality of it. Those properties will not make it in terms of trustee sale and foreclosure. And the reason why is because what Michael just said, the loans are they're so low in terms of the interest rates and the payment structure and all of that, that what's going to happen is smart investors like Michael and like many of you watching this that are getting involved with One Rental at a Time, the course, the material, following Michael and what he does, there's going to be so much of an opportunity for you to acquire these assets, or even if you're a real estate professional, to go out there and consult and work with these homeowners and help them get out of it before they lose all of their equity, before they lose the property to the banks. Michael, would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And again, I stay in my lane. I've never done a pre-foreclosure. I never worked for Fannie and Freddie. I've never done any of those things. The fact that you were gracious enough to add this details and then add call scripts and just be a professional, right? You're going to have some difficult conversations, but at the end of the day, you can be the right answer for somebody that's in a bad spot. You can create a solution where they walk away, their credit's in a better position than it could be. And in many cases, they're going to have some money in their pocket. And again, the debt's the asset. That, again, last time, dude, the debt was truly toxic. And today the debt's the asset. This is an opportunity, in my opinion. That's why I asked you to add it. You prepare now. You may execute on a trial basis this year, but it becomes the answer next year, right? We just had a CPI report today that was truly ugly, like I called. The Fed's going to have to get even more aggressive. And unfortunately, they're going to have to break the economy. That means a recession, probably a hard landing, probably double, triple unemployment. It's going to hurt a lot of people. If you're prepared, you have the skills, you can control more assets coming out of this than with less cash, which is just beautiful. And you can truly help people. Some people, through no fault of their own, just got caught. Just husband or wife got laid off, got a new job, but got to go to Texas, got to go to Florida, whatever it is. Be the right answer. And again, I want to be very clear. Pre-foreclosures could go up 10x, literally 1,000%. That's because last year was a crazy low number. It was illegal to foreclose in most cases. And the best properties, I want to say one more time, will never make the courthouse steps. If you're fishing only for foreclosures, first off, you're fishing a year early, and the best properties will never make it. They'll get gobbled up by the people that fish early. And yeah, it's time. So one of the other things I want to really work in here is you're going to add another section, which I just think I'm so lucky that you're going to do this. But I really shared with you, I think the strategy for me going forward is 2 offers. I'm going to offer cash and then terms. So you're gracious enough to take that idea, which you jumped on in video 2, and you're like, I can do more. I can do something else. So you're going to do a third video that really talks about terms, seller financing and whatnot. So let's tease that a little bit because it's coming. You just committed to it.
Yeah, I love it. So a couple things. So I did 2 videos already. It's already added in. It's a part of the content. So if you're a member of the One Rental at a Time course, you obviously have access to that. So that's already up and on the website for the members, for paid members. The third video that I'm going to do is I'm going to add in and talk about subject to financing, and then also seller financing, and then the hybrid of combining the two. How do you structure those deals? So a couple of things, like in California, we have very specific laws. If you are, if you're an investor and you're buying from an owner occupant, there's a very specific type of contract that you need. I'm going to talk about that in the third video. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is specifically, how do you structure, how do you negotiate, how do you disclose, so that you're properly covered, but also so that the seller understands, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm selling the property. This person's taking over the mortgage, subject to, the loan is going to stay in place. Here's how the loan is going to be serviced. All of that is properly disclosed. So that's what I'm going to talk about in the third video. And then even Michael, I want to just go backwards a little bit. The first video, so the 2 videos that are already a part of your course, the bonus material, video 1, what I talk about is how do you go and aggregate the list? How do you pull the list? What do you look for? Are we looking for notice of defaults, notice of trustee sales? It's a little different in state by state. We talk about California, but I also talk about nationally. Here's a website I use. This is how I pull the list. This is how I look at it. This is how I eliminate, how I really go and look at, okay, these are the best opportunities in our market. So that's number 1 in video number 1. And then in video number 2, what we talk about is how to market to the list. So are you doing postcards? Are you going to do cold calling? Are you going to do mail, direct mail? So if you're going to market to the list in video 2, I talk about what to say, but also what not to say. Okay. And not only that, but there's an overlying theme of all of this, Michael. And here's the real thing. A lot of people look at this and they go, well, foreclosure investing, a lot of people have some preconceived beliefs about it. And let me just say, the overall of all 3 videos, we want to show up as a solution.
Yes.
People are dealing with problems. They're dealing with debt problems. They're dealing with divorce. They're dealing with death. They're dealing with being downsized. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. It's interesting you mentioned Texas, by the way. So I've got 2 deals sitting on my desk right now. I've got one where a guy, literally, he has this property, but he had to move to Houston. He's an oil refinery worker. He had to move to Houston. He's got this property. It's a little bit beat up. He's not sure what to do with it. Some family members are living there. They're not doing a great job of taking care of it. This guy, and he can get a little bit of money out of the deal, right? It's a perfect example. That's a deal that I'm working on that's on my desk today. Those deals, did not exist, not in frequency the way that they are now last year.
Oh,
we're going to see.
They're going to, this is that again, like go back to video one, the perfect properties still sell. The things with any hair are going to sit and sit and sit. So folks, do the work, be the solution. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And then even a second deal, a deal that normally, this is a deal, it's in an A neighborhood and it's an A property. Normally in my world, I'm dealing with B neighborhoods, C neighborhoods, B or C properties, meaning they need, they're a little bit more beat up, paint, carpet, maybe a little bit more work sometimes. This is an A property in an A neighborhood. Why is that deal on my desk right now? Well, somebody's going through a divorce. Their family member owns, the mother owns the property. It's her kid that lives there that's going through a divorce. She basically is just held on to this property, kind of an accidental landlord, where she let her kid live there. They're living there, that they're now going through a divorce. And now the mom's scratching her head. She lives out of the area going, what do I do with this property? I really don't want to sell. I really don't want to get hammered with capital gains. And that's where a creative deal makes sense.
Absolutely.
So you just don't know these deals. And by the way, the two deals I described, these weren't deals that I'm marketing to. These were deals that were brought to me that fell on my lap that I'm working on. And guess what? Like you said, Michael, I believe 5X, 10X is what the opportunity is going to be. So, there's going to be a tremendous, I think they talk about a transference of wealth.
Yes.
Right? Like you look at, like, in terms of national talking heads, political thought leaders, economic thought leaders, they talk about this lifetime right now, we are going to see a massive transference of wealth. So part of that is people giving wealth to their children, which is awesome. Another part of it is that we're also going to see people reshift and reshuffle assets because we're going to see some economic uncertainty and a shift. Well, guess what? This is your opportunity to participate.
Yeah. Again, folks, the opportunity that's coming to us is not like the last 2 years. The opportunity in front of us, if you're doing the work, if you're getting skilled up, which again, I have to do, hence Ty's adding stuff that I have no experience with. I'm skilling up myself. I'm going to own or control more real estate with less cash in the next 2 years than I had the last 2 years. It's going to be amazing. Folks, if you have my course already, it's already there. It's loaded. We have a third amazing video coming from Ty. I look forward to adding it. Ty, thank you for all you do. One more time, list the website of the event that you have in August coming up.
Yeah, so we have an event August 11, 12, and bonus day on 13th. It is rehybridevent.com. RE, like real estate, rehybridevent.com. And it's great. Michael's going to be one of our great guest speakers that's going to be there. We've got Thatch Nguyen, Adrian Hernandez, Joe DeRaffaelli, myself, and literally general admission tickets are literally going on sale today. It's Friday, June the 10th. So if you're seeing this on Saturday or Sunday, go to the site. They're 50% off for a limited time. So again, we also have Diamond, which is people will get a third day where it's a much smaller room. We roll up and we actually work on your business and help you create a business plan and a blueprint for going forward over the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months. So Michael, thank you for all that you do and share with us. So thank you for all that you make available for all of us.
You got it, man. Thanks again for adding stuff. I've dove in. I'm getting ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, boss.